And welcome back to Woke or Stoked, episode 13. Episode 13. Where are we filming from, Twin?
The Woker Stoke Tower, which may or may not be located in a city near you. And for anyone who might be international, herzlichen willkommen. Yeah.
All right, two people understood that, but that's fine. All right, so guys, what do we have on the docket for today? We got four great news stories that we want to talk about that interest us greatly.
There
We
we
want
go.
your opinions about it, and we have two viewer questions that we're going to get to today
Oh,
as
no way, dude.
well. So, how do you submit a viewer question? Go down in the link in the description, and there will be a comment. You just click on that link, type in a question, send it to us, and we will read it no matter what it is. All right, so when you're ready to jump in.
Absolutely. What is our first story of the day, Jose?
First story is something that is on the thumbnail. Twin, is it fair to say that you love the Mummy franchise?
No.
You don't love the Mummy.
Uh, I've only seen the first one, and it's good, but the bugs really creep me out.
Oh, the scarabs. Yes, everybody's
Yeah.
creeped out by that. Well, they are beloved. I really like The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. And Twin, we mentioned this earlier, but The Mummy 4 is now official.
I heard.
And now that means that Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are coming back for The Mummy 4. Now, do you know who's directing this movie, Twin?
No idea. I'm assuming it's not the person who directed the others.
It is not. So Stephen Sommers directed the first two. I believe he also did the third one, but I'll look into that.
Right.
But Radio Silence is directing this new one. Now, what are they? They're a directing duo who have before directed Ready or Not, the Scream franchise reboot, and Abigail, that, you know, the little vampire girl.
Huh.
So it's interesting. It's an interesting combination of, you know, them coming back. All I care about is that Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are back because the third one didn't have Rachel Weisz because she was like too good for the Mummy now.
Oh.
But I'm very excited. Now, you've seen the first one, so I really hope that we can get, you know, Emotep back, Rachel Weisz's brother, Oden Ferrer, I think is his name. Yeah, Ardeth Bay. In like the sexy guy who helps them, the soldier guy. We'll put his picture up so you guys know who I'm talking about.
Oh, is he the guy with like the long hair and like
Yeah, the
beard?
George Harrison. I call him George Harrison. He kind of looks like George Harrison.
He does.
Honestly, guys, I mean, tell us what you're excited about. Obviously, this is just signed off on, so nobody knows what it's about. But ideally, if we could go back to what made the Mummy great, which is Egypt. Because in the third one, they kind of went with the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. It kind of went with more like an Asian soldier thing. Let's go back to Egypt. Let's go back to the pyramids. Let's go back to the Egyptian gods. That's what made it exciting.
That's
And
fun stuff, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And we'll end the Mummy talk with this, which is interesting. Because as you know, the Mummy was redone with Tom Cruise. Remember that a couple years ago, 2017?
Was that the whole like dark
It
universe
was.
thing?
It was.
Okay.
Now, why didn't it work? Just quickly, we'll have a quote from Brendan Fraser himself because he was asked, hey, they tried the Mummy already. Why do you think it didn't work? Because it really didn't work. This is what he said, and this is interesting. The ingredient that we had going for our Mummy, which I didn't see in the new one, was fun. That was what was lacking in that incarnation. It was too much of a straight ahead horror movie. The Mummy should be a thrill ride, but not terrifying and scary. What do you think about that, Twin?
Well, I will be speaking like this about this as I do on everything on the
Mhm.
show from a layperson's perspective. Um, I like The Mummy. Okay, The Mummy is actually like a very fun movie. The cast is very fun. You know, and that's I think my eternal takeaway from the movie is that like it's really fun. It's
Yeah.
like campy. I think that's one of the adjectives that people use to describe something like that. And I didn't see the other Mummy. It didn't really look fun. I don't remember the trailers like selling me like on this idea
You're
of like
very
fun.
right. It wasn't fun.
The Mummy was humorous, like the humor hit. You know, like there was a nice balance there, and you know, you really knew that you were watching something that like yeah, you're supposed to like enjoy and laugh and like the characters and not take it super seriously.
Yeah.
Yet it was cool. So yeah.
The first Mummy especially was a true horror movie. I lost sleep over some of those scenes, honestly, when I first saw it as a kid.
When did that come out?
Oh geez, 1999. The second one was probably 2001.
Oh right.
But yeah, so guys, we're obviously very excited for The Mummy 4. We will be there opening day. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think of The Mummy. Are you excited? Do you hope the other cast members come back? And now we can move on to our second news story, Twin.
Cool.
Zach Kreger, Twin. Zach Kreger. Does that name ring any bells to you?
It rings a bell. Not a bell of Notre Dame, but it rings a bell.
The bells of Notre Dame are rung for Zach Cregger. Well, Twin, we just saw his recent film, Weapons, in theaters.
Oh, okay.
He wrote and directed it. Now, this is why we have to talk about this, because there is a movie. I'll explain briefly, Twin, just so you and our viewers can find out. So Zach Cregger is obviously this up-and-coming filmmaker, right? Made 2 movies. They've both been hits. I'll go into that a little bit more later. But he has a new movie called The Flood, all right? He wrote it. He wants to direct it, right? And this is for Netflix, okay? Now, how does this work is because Zach Cregger has a deal with Emblem Entertainment, which is owned by Steven Spielberg, and they have kind of a first look deal with Netflix, right? So anything that they do, Netflix gets to say, okay, we're going to make that, we're not going to make that, okay? That's
Right.
the overview. Well, Zach Cregger was told by a Netflix executive, hey, we want you to come with us, make The Flood, this amazing movie. Nobody knows what it's about, so don't ask me. But we can assume it's about some massive flood, something crazy along the lines of weapons. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Of biblical proportions.
Exactly. And they come to him, a Netflix executive, and says, hey, Zach, come with us, make this movie. You just are super hot off of weapons. You're going to do the Resident Evil movies. That's his next movie, Resident Evil.
Maybe that'll be good this time.
Exactly. It's doing a good job. Come with us. We'll give you a theatrical release. It'll be a great thing. Zach Cregger says, I'm all on board. Let's make the movie. Well, who comes in but the Netflix CEO himself, Ted Sarandos, and says, you know that theatrical movie we're talking about? That's not happening. We're not going to put that in theaters.
Why the hell not?
Exactly the freaking point, Twin. Because Netflix has this aversion to putting things in theatrical. And can you blame them for being so stupid? Yes, you can. Greta Gerwig is going to do the Narnia films. That's going to get a theatrical release. Guillermo del Toro just did Frankenstein. That got a small, but it got a theatrical release. Can you blame Zach Cregger for saying, I'm one of the up-and-coming filmmakers. I'm not going to make this movie unless you give it a theatrical release. Can you blame him for that, Twin?
No, but I also kind of just want to know a little bit more about what Netflix's aversion is to the theatrical releases. Because you have talent like this.
Yeah.
And they want their art demonstrated through the conventional medium.
Who wouldn't?
Of course you do. You know, like, that's kind of common sense.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm interested in just learning a little bit more about that.
And we all are, because Netflix would tell you, well, we're not interested in theatrical. We are a streaming company, so we want all of our movies and TV shows to go straight to streaming. However, I can't really give you a devil's advocate argument, because to me it makes no sense, because this is what's happening as of now. The movie's not happening. Zach Cregger said, I'm not doing it if it's not theatrical. Now, legally speaking, Netflix they own the movie, so if Netflix wants to, they can just make the movie with another director. That's what could happen. But this is exactly why we're talking about this. Guys, you don't want to piss off talent. Nolan knows that very well. Warner Brothers learned that the hard way. When you piss off talent, other talent finds out. It makes no sense. I just don't understand why they can't just say, Zach Cregger, you're one of the hottest directors right now. Let's not forget, I'm going to give you some numbers, Twin. Zach Cregger directed the movie Barbarian, which cost $5 million. Okay, and I thought it was pretty good. It made 45. Okay? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Profit-wise, that's very good.
Exactly. Weapons was made for $38 million. You want to know how much it made worldwide, Twin?
Jesus. Oh, God. More than $500 million, right?
268.
Oh.
268, which is just...
It just felt like everybody was going to see it.
Exactly. So we were kind of in a bubble in LA, but yes, 268 is what it made.
Are we in LA?
268 is what it made. So this guy has a track record from small movies to big movies to bring back profit big time, right? Like a huge amount of profit. Now he's working on Resident Evil. It'll probably be really good, really well received, probably. How could you insult this guy and say, hey, we're not doing a theatrical? Now he's all upset. Now he's saying, well, I'm not going to do the movie. If Netflix, let's just say they actually do make this movie without him. The headlines write themselves. It's such a stupid decision. I just don't understand why they just couldn't be like, hey, we're going to make it. Don't worry. We'll give you 3 weeks. Call it a break. Let's get some free money. But no, Twin. As of right now, it's stalled. So congratulations to Netflix.
There's no obvious financial disincentive for them to put the money in theaters.
No, because
put the movie in theaters.
Even if they promoted it, let's just say they put in a good 20, 30 million. Are you really telling me that this guy, the guy who just made $200 million profit on weapons, isn't going to bring that back with the movie called The Flood? It'll probably be really good. I don't know, man. So that'll be our second news story, guys.
We're going to follow that.
Yeah, we will follow that. I hope that we report in a couple weeks, hey, Zach Cregger's back. Netflix is going to give him a theatrical release because they don't want the woke or Stoked Empire angry at them. Hopefully not. So Netflix, I'm talking to you. Ted Sarandos, we're talking to you. All right, Twin. For our third news story, and we gotta get into this because we reported a couple weeks ago. Maybe you can fill in the viewers, Twin, of a certain lady called Sydney Sweeney. We talked
Right.
about her on the show, Twin. Can you give us a very quick overview about American Eagle and what that whole issue was about that we reported on the show?
Yeah, that was episode 5, actually. I remember that specifically.
Oh wow.
So that was the whole Sydney Sweeney has great genes campaign. American Eagle, wants to hire, they want to hire Sydney Sweeney to like wear their products.
Mm-hmm.
And this caused some backlash because people assume that when you call like an attractive white lady someone with good genes, you're endorsing Nazi ideology.
Racism.
Yeah, and like Hitler Youth or whatever stupid shit that people want to fucking throw out there. But they caused a lot of controversy, caused a bit of a stir, and she made no comment about it at the time.
Yes, and that was why we covered it on the show because what we are used to seeing a million times over is the mob comes after you, you apologize, you beg for
fold,
forgiveness,
yeah.
exactly. And guess what? They don't forgive you, and you're just cast out into the wilderness.
They hate you anyways.
Yes.
Why
are we bringing it up again, Twin? You know where I'm going with this. We are going to put a video clip on the screen so you guys can see of an interview that just happened. Very quickly, a couple seconds, but we're going to put it up now so you guys can take a look, and we're going to talk about it afterwards.
And the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
All right, so guys, what just happened right there was an interviewer giving her the opportunity to apologize. I'm going to grace you with the opportunity to say, hey, do you renounce everything that you did? Do you gratefully apologize? And what was her answer? You guys just saw it. And it was, when I have something to talk about, I'll let you know, basically. We don't want to talk about it too much. We don't want to get into it too much. But that is, regardless of any ideology, that is the correct response. You don't apologize. You don't beg for forgiveness. You don't, and by the way, she didn't even say, well, it was actually about clothing. The ad was actually about, she didn't even say that. She just said, if I have something to say, I'm going to tell you. I don't have anything to say, and that'll be it. I mean, we're going to put a couple memes on the screen, guys, because you're familiar with the Anakin Skywalker meme with Padme and Anakin?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the new meme.
I've made some
So,
of those.
guys, we're going to put some memes on the screen right now just so you guys can see how big this has gotten. This is like the new meme of like interviewer with the face of like maybe, and then there's ones of just deadpan face.
One thing that I thought was funny about that is people said that like, oh, like that was the day like the millennial smirk died. Like it started with like Adam Conover. Like the sort of like, oh, like I'm better than you, like I know better than you.
Yeah.
And it was replaced by Sydney Sweeney's the Gen Z stare,
Yeah.
as they call it. We're technically millennials, we're like on the much younger end of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the millennial smirk is apparently gone.
So we will follow this. I really hope that we don't do an update where we say, guys, she apologized, she caved. I hope not. Because I think that this means a lot more in the sense of, this is how you can handle it. If you do something that you're proud of, you stand by it, you don't cave in, and you just take the blows and you take the hits, and whatever happens, happens. So that is our third news story, but we had to come back on that.
Can I say something about that
Yeah,
really
please.
quick? My stance on that, is just like, I'm not going to say that, things that Sydney Sweeney believes are right or wrong. I don't really know, but that's good. Like, the whole point is that, you don't make something about something that it isn't. The whole American genes bullshit, that was fucking insane. And regardless of who she is or what her inclinations are politically or whatever, I know we kind of covered that a little bit. Like, it shouldn't matter, and you shouldn't need to be put in positions where just because, like, oh, hey, like, this president, this person we don't like, he actually spoke fondly of that. Are you going to apologize for that? Are you going to feel bad about that? Like, it's
Exactly.
just so useless, and, like, I'm just going to say that I respect her for handling this honestly in what I think is the best way possible.
Yeah, honestly, it couldn't have been a better response now that I really think about it. So we had to come back because we covered that on the show. So
Yeah.
Any news story that we come back that has new developments, we'll always come back for you guys, just so you guys are aware. All right, now for the last story, this was something we weren't going to cover, but it just broke, and we have to. Francis Ford Coppola, Twin. You familiar with Francis Ford Coppola?
He went to my college.
Oh, to like give a presentation or to study?
No, he went to Hofstra.
To study?
He is a Hofstra alum.
Well, there you go. So Francis Ford Coppola, obviously, if you guys follow this, you know movies. Probably not so much today, but arguably one of the greatest directors of all time. He directed the Godfather trilogy, Apocalypse Now. I mean, The Conversation. I mean, this guy in the 70s was the epitome of a director, right? He brought in the new wave. He taught Scorsese and George Lucas. Like, this guy is literally the godfather of directors. Like, that's what they call him. Spielberg and Scorsese all looked to him as the godfather. Why are we covering this? Because, Twin, what's the most recent movie that Francis Ford Coppola did?
Megalopolis. Megalopolis.
And it was the greatest received movie of all time. It won Best Picture, right?
Well, not that I'm aware. I remember no one going to see it. I remember, memes disrespecting some dialogue and line deliveries. And I remember just people thinking it was bad.
It was a very bad movie. I still have not seen it.
Entitled.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly. So here's the deal. Why we're covering this is twofold. Number one, I think that we look at directors and we say, well, they make money, but maybe they don't make that much money, or maybe they are not that rich. Francis Ford Coppola was a very rich dude. How rich? He owns his own winery. He has his own private island. He has an extensive watch collection. He is incredibly wealthy. Why are we covering this on the other side? Because it takes balls to make movies. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, why do all these filmmakers, why does Zach Kreger, why does he go to Netflix? Why do you have to wait for permission from Paramount or this movie to make The Mummy 4 or whatever? Why? Because the studios have the money. And occasionally, you might be asking, well, why do you give the rights away to your movies if they're yours? Why don't you just make them? Why don't you fundraise money and you make your movie? This is why. Francis Ford Coppola spent how much of his own money for Megalopolis, Twin? Give me a ballpark.
Oh, God. $100 million?
Do you think that Francis Ford Coppola spent $100 million of his own money on Megalopolis?
No, that's absurd. I would never say that. 50?
$120 million.
He's gonna have to sell the winery, dude.
He already did.
No way.
This isn't even what we're covering, Twin. We're covering the fact that he has to just...
He sold his winery because of Megalopolis?
To make up for it, he just sold his island, his private island, for $1.8 million. Just a small island, obviously, nothing too crazy.
He needs to sell 100 more islands.
Well, we're going to cover this because... Now, look, let's just not make fun of Francis here, because I applaud the balls that it takes to say, I believe in this movie. I'm going to make it if no other studio wants to make it.
Right.
Now, it also got proven that the studios were correct to not want to make it because it only made $14 million. If you have anything to knowledge, 120 is to make the movie. Let's throw in another... you know what? Let's just say, including marketing, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. 120 all in. 14 million minus 120, you still need 100 plus. That's why we're talking about this, because poor Francis Ford Coppola is now already sold his winery, just sold his private island, and just sold a one-of-a-kind watch that I know a certain co-host is going to be very interested in, Twin. Twin,
Wow.
I'm going to show you a picture. We're going to put it on the screen, but I want you to see this one-of-a-kind watch. It's kind of called affectionately the Godfather watch. Twin, take a look at this so our viewers can also see. So what watch do you think that is right there?
It's interesting looking, but I haven't got a damn clue.
So that is a one-of-a-kind FP Journe
Oh,
watch.
of course, FP Journe would make something like that.
Exactly. This is affectionately, I think I said it before, but it's affectionately called the Godfather watch, and he is putting it up for auction.
That's got to be at least $1 million, right?
Well, they're trying to sell it for like about $1 million, but obviously it's up for auction in December, so that could, you know.
Okay.
Obviously, if you know it's Coppola's watch, you would probably pay more, so I don't doubt that. Maybe Mr. Wonderful is going to be at the auction soon, you never know. It's going to be December 6th and 7th, so what are you doing, Twin? You want to get an FP Journe watch?
I mean, I would go, but I'm actually going to Mexico that day.
Oh, well, cancel your plans, Twin.
So unless I can attend virtually, because I would make a super competitive offer, I would trade this Orient for that Godfather FP Journe.
All right, so we'll keep you in mind for that. But yeah, December 6th and 7th, if you guys are in New York and you want to spend more than $1 million on a watch, you can come back here and do it. But why are we covering this, guys? Is because, fairly simply, we appreciate the valor it takes to bet on yourself, right? And that's what
Right.
Coppola did, right? He bet on himself. No other studio gave him this money. He raised 120 million of his own money.
I feel
and
bad about it now.
he no, it's okay. But he took a big gamble, right? He said, "I believe in myself. I believe in this film. I'm going to make it the way I want to make it, and I will raise the money myself." And sometimes when you take gambles in Hollywood, it pays big. Like Tom Cruise, for example, in Top Gun Maverick, he walked away with $100 million paycheck, free. And other times, like in this one, he lost everything. And by his own admission, he recently said on a podcast that he's broke.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why he sold his island. That's why he sold the watch. That's why I don't doubt that he's going to sell a lot more things. So yeah, guys, before we get to the viewer questions, though, just quickly, let's not forget that Francis Ford Coppola is a staple of Hollywood, right? So before we start crying tears of joy or sadness, he has many friends in the industry. He helped bring in George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese. They all look up to him as a godfather. So I have no doubt that if he finds himself close to homeless, they will step in and obviously give him assistance. So let's not freak out too much.
I mean, there wouldn't actually be like a serious risk of that happening.
No,
right?
of course not.
There's
But
no
even
way.
if there was, my point being, George Lucas is a billionaire. I'm sure he can
Right.
spend a couple million helping his best friend and mentor get back on his feet, as we all do. All right, guys. So that wraps up our stories. That, obviously let us know what you guys think about what you prefer, what you don't like, what you're looking forward to. And we do have 2 viewer questions, Twin. 2 viewer questions.
Back with the multiple questions.
Exactly. And
I like it.
If you want to join, please feel free. There's a link in the description. Again, as I said at the beginning of the video, just click on it, send in a viewer question, and you can join our 2 viewers. And one, we start with Alaskan Inkling.
One of the bigger fans of the show.
Exactly. And he asks a really interesting question, Twin. And he says, what are some of your goals for the show in 2026? Do you want to handle this one?
So, obviously, we have a few more shows to go before the year ends. I'm thinking there's probably at least going to be 4 or 5. There might be a bit of a Christmas break, but we're going to continue doing basically exactly what we're doing. Obviously, a lot of people are kind of checking out the videos right now. The last one is doing pretty well, so we're showing up on people's feeds. I think we want to continue having fun conversations. There, I think, is like a market for like this type of stuff. Movies are something that people are always going to be interested in. Film, art, culture, and then we sprinkle in like a little bit of that, political stuff just to add an extra perspective because like we don't want to be people who need to like walk on eggshells or like sugarcoat things or like not talk about things the way that we think that they are. And I think that there's a bit of a interest in that. And I've also always thought that, we've been friends for a really long time, that our conversations, even just on like a regular random Wednesday, are always so ridiculous and funny that like, even if we just captured those moments, people would find it entertaining.
Yep.
So I think the goal is to just continue to maybe find like our identity, figure out like what continues to work for us. I feel like we have a nice formula. It's been going pretty good. But yeah, that's basically what I think for 2026.
Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself, Twin. Very well said. Basically, just keep it going. Hopefully put in a little bit more money in the show. The viewer questions go a long way for that. Hopefully maybe eventually get a nicer camera, nicer equipment set up. But other than that, we just want to keep doing what we're doing. If you guys seem to like it, let us know, obviously. But yeah, very well said, Twin.
Yeah, I want to have to, this is my real answer, actually. I want to have to I don't want to have to drink tap water anymore.
You want pure essential water, is that what you're saying?
I want this to be the fancy side of the couch. I want that money, and I want you guys to specify this money is going to Twin. I want the Essentia.
And then in a divorce, it's not going to be pretty. I'll get the woke, he'll get the Stoked.
Wait, I thought you... Oh, you don't want the Stoked?
I might take the Stoked, he can keep the woke, I don't know.
Okay.
All right, guys.
My last name also starts with W.
Thank you for the question, Alaskan Inkling. And our second question is from another viewer. Bertmobile is sending in a question. I appreciate Bertmobile, whoever you are. Maybe a car is watching this show. In which case, thank you for your
Diverse
viewership.
audience.
We appreciate it, all viewers. And the question is, I heard movie profits this past month were quite low. Do you think the average person thinks the quality out there is bad? Have the big movies this year not done enough to reignite faith in the biz? Twin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of articles where, people say that, like, oh, AMCs are going to have to start, like, adding pickleball courts and, like, crazy stuff to, like
To
keep
bring
people going to
attention.
movie theaters. because you can't just like put a bar places. You can't just like give people alcohol and expect that that's gonna be enough to get them to show up, especially with like alcohol prices at AMC. I mean, but who knows? Maybe like it'll be like $50 per pickleball game or something. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that's a little bit extreme. But obviously, like we talked about, Warner Brothers, they're doing really well.
They are.
A lot of movies have really arguably overperformed. Maybe Hollywood has pivoted slightly in a direction where parents feel more confident they can take their kids to go see those movies. Obviously, we have some big movies coming up in this month.
November, yeah.
I don't believe this question would be as appropriate a month from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in general, I mean, we've been kind of, bullish, so to speak, about the direction in which things are going and just sort of what we're seeing. So, no, I think things are still okay.
I think so too. I mean, theater attendance goes down year by year. That's just a sad fact. AMC and other theaters can do things to change that, but October was a rare month where just not a lot of things came out that people cared about. Conjuring made a lot of money. That's like the outlier. But November, Twin is right. November is very big. I mean, we have Running Man coming soon. Now You See Me, Wicked 2, and a bunch of the Oscar movies. So Zootopia 2. So I have no doubt that there will be multiple billion-dollar films in November.
I'm going to see all those.
We will both see all of those. So I have no doubt that November and December, because Avatar is coming out in December. So December and November will get us back on track. But yeah, great question, Bertmobile. Keep honking away. But yeah, you're right. The October box office was one of the worst in history, I believe. Like since 92, 97, it was the lowest October since then. So 20, 30 years of low box office, this was the worst one.
Wow.
So yeah, hopefully we don't have this repeat question, and hopefully November brings in a lot of money for the box office.
I hope we can report good numbers on Running Man, Now You See Me, Wicked, Zootopia.
Yeah, or Predator Badlands also. I hope that makes a lot of money.
We saw that and like it was cute.
It was cute.
It was a cute movie.
All of that killing is cute to you, Twin? All the body parts everywhere?
Yeah.
All right, so
It's
Twin is
adorable.
going to go see a psychiatrist after the show is done. And that wraps up Woke
Go
or
see it,
Stoked.
you'll know what I mean.
That wraps up Woke or Stoked episode 13. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to our viewers who sent in our questions. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, type a comment in. We want to hear all about it. Twin, anything to say to our viewers before we head on out?
No, thank you guys for watching. If you know someone who could benefit from seeing us and our opinions, please share this video with that person. But Jose, good show.
Always a good show. Always a good show, Twin. A lot of topics today because there's a lot to get to, but we will catch you guys on Woke or Stoked episode 14. Until then, see you later.
Peace.